This is the Shore Sports Network. WOBM Lakewood Township, WADB Asbury Park. Listen online at WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
And a very good Thursday evening. Broadcasting live from Baker's Water Street Grill in Toms River. It is the Thursday Night High School Football Show here on the Shore Sports Network. Kevin Williams along with the coach, Ed Sarluca, Matt Harmon on special assignment tonight. You guys are always on special assignment.
Come on, I missed 1 week.
It was one more than you should have missed.
Had to work on my tan down in Florida last week.
You were excused. Matt, again, on vacation, will join us tomorrow for our game broadcast, which we'll talk about later on. But a good show tonight as we get set. Hard to believe. I'm just blown away by this. But for the majority of teams in New Jersey, the regular season ends this weekend. And the irony at it to me is we were here to preview the season. It was about the same temperature it is tonight.
70 degrees plus.
Yeah,
unbelievable weather.
Unbelievable. We've got a good show for you tonight. We'll be chatting a little bit later in the 90 minutes or so. We're here with Freehold Township coach Corey Davies, Freehold Borough coach Dave Ellis. Just coincidental. Both Freehold coaches will be on with us during the course of the night. Of course, our guy, Bob Batters from the Shore Sports Network, will really hone in on this weekend's games that have a lot to do with the playoff picture. Our regular spotlight with Monmouth University head football coach Kevin Callahan. The Hawks on the bye this week, the late season bye. We'll catch up with him. Probably been a busy recruiting week, I would think, for the Monmouth coaching staff and all of that. And, of course, as we say, in the house, joining us shortly, our special guest tonight from the Panthers of Point Pleasant Borough, their head coach Sean Henry, and their outstanding senior quarterback Noah Husak. They'll join us shortly, and we'll talk Panther football because maybe as big as any game this weekend is Saturday afternoon at Al Sainer Field when Point Borough plays Lakewood with the Class B South Championship on the line. We'll obviously preview that one, and we'll be broadcasting that. That is our Jersey Mike's game of the week right here on the Shore Sports Network, Saturday at 2 o'clock kickoff, and we'll be there and bring that one to you. And, again, we'll chat about that when the Borough folks join us. You know, Ed, I look at last weekend, and we, of course, did the Toms River North Brick game, which I thought was a very impressive win for the Mariners. Maybe I think their best win of the season and their best game of the season. And we can chat about that. But a couple of other games that really caught me last weekend. Ocean's stunning win over Red Bank Catholic, which confounded all these so-called experts because none of us saw that one coming. Shore's crushing win over Point Beach, which just reaffirms what an outstanding team the Blue Devils have again. I think you have to mention Jackson Liberty's upset of Point Borough, although the Borough folks would prefer we don't even mention that whatsoever. Those are games that stood out for me last weekend, and a great win by Matawan over Manalapan.
Matawan over Manasquan.
Manasquan.
Yeah. Great
win in a very close game.
But you are correct with Manalapan's loss by Freehold Borough.
By Freehold Borough. That was the other one. That I think was kind of surprising. So some really close, hard-fought games last weekend that had major implications on division races and playoff situations.
Yeah, you left one out, Kevin. That was Rumson's 1-point victory over Raritan, 21-20, in a game that was, right to the very end. I mean, that was a outstanding game and an outstanding effort. Raritan seems to be that team this year that just misses.
I agree.
Exactly.
They've had a couple of heartbreaking losses.
Exactly.
I think they've done a nice job this year, but just don't have the numbers to show for it.
No. They currently, right now, let's see, what is their record now? Raritan 3-4 have played much better than that for sure.
They could easily be 5-2 without question.
But anyway, 5 of the 6 championships have a team that have at least clinched a tie.
Right.
The only division is the A North, where Middletown South and Middletown North will play on Turkey Day in a traditional game, and that one that championship will be decided then. All the rest have at least one champion.
And, of course, Middletown South will have to get past Freehold on Saturday.
Right, exactly.
A Freehold team that is tied with Middletown North for second in that division, so let's not overlook that.
No, we can't.
And we'll be chatting with Dave Ellis a little bit later on. But let's just start with the what I thought was the tremendous all-around performance by Toms River North last week and handing Brick their first loss of the season. Brick came into that game 7-0 with 5 shutouts, had allowed 20 points all season long, and the Mariners put 26 on the board.
Yeah, and they put 20 up almost in the first quarter of that football game. So, yeah, they played outstanding. We all thought Toms River North, one of the top teams in the Shore all season. They had that second game defeat, a big defeat by Brick Memorial, in which Memorial put up 52 points, but they have done nothing but win since then. 6 in a row since that second week loss. And if you have to be on a roll, now is the time of the year to be on that roll, because that win catapulted North into the playoff picture. Probably will get the 4 seed in South Jersey Group 5 and a home game in the first round, which is very important.
Ocean's win over Red Bank Catholic. How surprised were you by that one?
Well, I was. Maybe it's time, and I don't mean any animosity when I say this, that we don't give Red Bank Catholic the credit that they've deserved for the last 5, 6, 7 years when they've done nothing but win. Usually when you play a Red Bank Catholic team, you're automatically underdogs.
Right.
Maybe now they're a little bit more vulnerable than they have been.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And they're young. They're young, though.
Yeah.
That's why.
And they really haven't been able to run the ball effectively at all, which has been their forte. I mean, right. Eddie Hahn has put up huge numbers the last couple of weeks.
Tremendous game last week.
He threw for 300 yards last week.
Yeah.
But hard to imagine that Red Bank Catholic would give up 42 points, a program known for defense. But again, like you said, and it's human nature, and it's no different in the college ranks, teams that have won like they have automatically get a level of respect based on past performance, not necessarily the current performance.
Yeah, and it was 2 late touchdowns after Red Bank Catholic had taken the lead. 2 late touchdowns, a big pass play from Kenny Pickett, who's had an outstanding year at quarterback. Boy, we've had some great quarterbacks this year. We're going to talk to one in a few minutes, in Noah Usack, but there have been some tremendous games by quarterbacks this year, and Kenny Pickett sort of under the radar when we talk about all those top quarterbacks, but he certainly has played well enough to be mentioned in the same breath as the Eddie Hahns and the Tim Santiagos and the Noah Usack.
How about this? How do you pick 3 quarterbacks for all Shore this year?
It was tough last year, too.
It was tough last year, but I think it's tougher this year.
Yeah, I think there's a more spread out. They are. It's a tough choice, and we have to do it, though. We're going to do it.
Yeah, we will be doing that. I guess we should save the Jackson Liberty conversation for when the guys join us in a few minutes.
Right.
Just to talk a little bit about last week's game. Mattawan with the 30-27 win over Manasquan. That was a big one. You went to that game.
Yeah, I went to that game, and I'll tell you.
Exciting, huh?
Very exciting game. Slow start, halftime. I believe it was 14, 7 at halftime, something like that.
14-6.
Yeah, 14-6 at halftime, but then the second half got tremendous, and there's no doubt that Mattawan with George Pearson back is a completely different team than when he's not on the field.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from the other athletes. Aleem Shore, tremendous football player. But I'm telling you, George Pearson, only a sophomore, he is the up-and-coming big gun star in the Shore for the next 2 years.
I think we've got a little shout-out I think we have to give the Colts neck. Darian Barnes coming up with the win, an upset win over a Wall team that the week before had been our Jersey Mike's Team of the Week for an upset.
I have to mention this. I talked to Dan Curcione, the Wall coach, in fact, Halloween, he brought the kids over to the house, and he told me that his quarterback, Cluley, came back for that game, was given 100% by the trainers, the doctors, started the game at quarterback, was expected to throw the football. He had not thrown the football the week before when he came back. Third play of the game, he got hurt again. He hurt the leg, and he went out and didn't play the rest of the game. Tough year for Matt Cluley.
Yeah, when Wall comes up with their first win, Colts Neck comes up with their first win. The brother of Anthony Gargiulo, who was the great player a couple of years ago, is now Nick. Anthony's now at the Naval Academy. Nick And congratulations to him. He was the Asbury Park Press Defensive Player of the Week, came up with a big defensive effort and scored on a fumble return late.
Did you see that picture in the paper? Scary looking, isn't he? Had the mohawk working. I'll tell you.
Think about it. His brother
was tremendous.
Probably beat on him when he was a little kid, and now he's got tough on his
dividends
own.
now.
Paying dividends.
By the way, we got to mention Pinelands also picked up their first win.
How about that for Brian Wilkinson, the coach there? A dominating win not a dominating win, close win over Manchester 28-21, but that gets them off the schneid. And the winless teams kind of reduced. We're down to, three, right?
Three of them.
Marlborough,
Manchester, and East.
And Manchester and Toms River East. Those are the three teams in search of that elusive win that they may get in the consolation round, if not this coming weekend. All right, well, we'll take a break. We come back. It's all about the Point Borough Panthers. Borough having a great year and a chance on Saturday on their own turf to play for a piece of the Class B South title, which is always one of everyone's preseason goals, and they'll have a chance to do it on their own place on Saturday. So we'll talk with them. It's Borough football right after this timeout. You're listening to the Thursday Night High School Football Show on the Shore Sports Network.
Water Street Bar and Grill in downtown Toms River is the ultimate sports bar. With 32 HD TVs, Water Street brings you all the action of every football game. Located right on the water, Water Street is the perfect place to enjoy the finest views of the shore. Whether you want to grab a few drinks with friends, catch your favorite game, eat a delicious meal, or enjoy live entertainment every Friday and Saturday nights, Water Street is the place for a good time. Located across from Huddy Park on Robbins Parkway in downtown Toms River. Visit them at bakerswaterstreet.com. The power to take beautiful pictures and amazing movies is yours with Nikon and Rand's camera. See how simply effortless it can be to capture simply stunning pictures with the Nikon D3300. Featuring 24.2 megapixel resolution, the Nikon D3300 shoots 1080p HD video that is easily shareable with an optional wireless mobile adapter. Rand's camera has your Nikon D3300 18 to 55mm VR kit for just $449.95 after $200 instant savings. For game-changing zoom power in an advanced, easy-to-handle package, stop into Rand's camera this week to check out the Nikon Coolpix P35. It combines an incredible 42-time zoom with a 16-megapixel sensor for fantastic Nikon image quality. And now get the Nikon Coolpix P35 for just $279.95 after $170 instant savings. Nikon Incorporated USA limited warranty included. Rand's camera, located at 1841 Hooper Avenue, is open 7 days a week. Don't forget, you get a free photo class with every Nikon camera purchase at Rand's Camera.
This is Marianne Levy, News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Broadcast from the Preferred Home Healthcare Studio. Since 1987, Preferred has offered the highest degree of care. Preferred Home Healthcare with feeling.
Clouds will continue to fill in as we head through the nighttime hours. A chance of a rain shower or two. It's going to be very warm for this time of year for night. Lows around 60, average lows 39. Cloudy early on Friday, then gradual decrease in clouds later in the day, a high in the mid-70s. The outlook for the weekend, it turns cooler, but it's dry. Clouds and sunshine, low 60s on Saturday. Sunday, mainly sunny, a high in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau from the Weather Channel.
News Talk Radio, WOBM.
For the latest high school football news, visit shoresportsnetwork.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310, and WOBMAM.com.
And welcome back live from Baker's Water Street Grill in downtown Toms River. It is the Thursday Night High School Football Show on the Shore Sports Networks, 1160 and 1310 AM, and streaming live at shoresportsnetwork.com. Zach Collins back at our studios, making sure everything's good there, and of course the one and only Tom Tremblay here. Kevin Williams along with Ed Sarluca, delighted to welcome in the head coach of the Point Pleasant Borough Panthers, Sean Henry, and his outstanding senior quarterback, Noah Husak, joining us live here. Coach, I'm going to start with you. First winning season since 2011. That's got to be pretty good. Feel pretty good. 7-1, and of course a home on Saturday with a chance for the B South title. But I've got to ask you, if the hangover from last weekend, how long it took for that to wear off, an overtime loss to Jackson Liberty, your first loss of the season?
It took about till Saturday morning. I mean, the bottom line is we got outplayed and outcoached, and we put it in our rearview mirror. It's done. It's over with. Every year you see a team that kind of this happens to, and we're hoping we're going to be one of those teams where, this is the best thing that happened to us. So again, kudos to Jackson Liberty and Coach Sharples and their staff and their kids. Again, they outplayed us. So, we just Saturday morning we watched the film, took back, and it's back to business. I mean, it is what it is.
Noah, the good thing about that is that you have another chance to win a championship on Saturday with a win. It's a piece. You share it with the Piners, but you do have another chance.
Yeah, that's a great thing about this, and it's something that you work for in the off season. Back in June, July, the hot months of the summer when we're working for, the upcoming season. It's kind of things that Coach Henry, Coach O'Rourke, and Slento, what they talk about. So fast forward 3 months or whatever it is. It's awesome to find ourselves in the position that we wanted to put ourselves in, and we worked hard, and it's exactly what we deserve.
Coach, let's talk about this kid sitting next between us, okay? I mean, first year at the QB spot, Jack Fitzsimmons last year. I know Noah credited him a lot with learning a lot from him when he was your quarterback. But tell us about how he has stepped up at that spot.
I can't say enough about him. I mean, again, what we do offensively, it's difficult, and you know that, Coach. I mean, being a flexbone team, the reads, things like that, and just the ownership of the offense and the team in general this kid has taken. I couldn't be prouder of him. I mean, he's doing things offensively that I never thought not that he couldn't do, but that a kid that usually plays 3 years does in terms of the reads and making checks. He's been outstanding, and coming into the season, kind of a running joke was like him and his brother, his twin brother or A-back was going to argue about the mesh, and it's his huddle, and he's been outstanding. He's got a rocket for an arm, and again, what we do offensively, he adjusted to it. And probably I don't know what game it was exactly. It might have been Mondon. I said anything we need to switch, anything we need to do, and I think the proudest of him he goes, Coach, let's just keep running triple, and when you hear that, the kid bought into the offense, and again, I can't say enough about what he's done this year.
Noah, go on, Kev.
I was going to say, this kind of building for this year. 2 years ago, now you've been with the program since 2003, assistant coach, and now, I guess, 5.5 seasons, right?
Yeah.
The asterisk.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, you were 1-9, certainly something you are not accustomed to, a Point Borough football team that annually contends for division titles and state spots. 5-5 last year, and I kind of feeling obviously that was a very good sophomore class 2 years ago. Took their lumps when they were younger, but was Noah the ingredient or the asterisk that the guy who really had to step up for you to go from a 5-5 team to a possibly division championship team?
Without question. I mean, he was the guy that we were putting all the weight on, and like I said, he's responded better than I could ever even thought. And again, what we do offensively. I mean, obviously. I'm sure we'll talk about our defense in a little bit, but he's the guy that's put the team on his shoulders, and as an option team without a solid quarterback, you're in trouble. And again, Jack did a great job, and I think Noah learned from him, but just how he's taken over the offense this year, it's just I can't say enough about it.
Noah, tell us about how the option is run at Point Pleasant Borough. We've talked to a couple teams that run the option. Is it triple right or option left, and then you make all the reads, or is it predetermined without giving away the whole package?
Too much. I mean, obviously some plays are
predetermined.
Exactly, but for the most part we have read right, read left, and I get to the line, and at the snap nobody really knows who's getting the ball.
Okay.
I'll know like half a second into my read. Working with Coach Lento and getting the reads down quick has been one of the biggest aspects of my game that we tried to work on. So getting that down has been very, a big part of my game. And, any time in the play, something can go wrong and I have the next guy I can pitch to. So it's always.
What do you think your strength is?
Coach
came in here. The first thing he told me is he got a rocket for an arm.
But that's the thing.
He won't let you throw it, will he?
Well, we've been throwing it lately. We got Hayden Fry back. We've been throwing it.
We run the ball, and the defenses aren't ready for the pass. And then the good thing is we have some good athletes on the outside who are on the perimeter who can make plays, and that's the biggest thing is we could run the ball, and they'll think we're running the ball, and we'll throw it over their heads, and that's what makes the triple option so deceptive.
Solo, 1 second. LJ, did you get that? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Thanks. Thanks, Kevin.
LJ Clark, of course, the Lakewood coach who you'll go up against on Saturday. You were pretty emphatic that last week's loss is something that's behind you, and that obviously nothing you can do about it. and you come into this game. You feel like you're healthy. You just mentioned one of your wide receivers, Hayden Fry, is back. Are you in pretty good shape coming in?
Yeah, we're healthy. I mean, again, Noah missed the entire second half against Jackson Lib. I mean, we had a sophomore come in and did a great job, and that had nothing to do with the loss. So, we're at full strength. We feel pretty confident. We're ready to go. We've had a good week of practice, and, again, we're ready to go, right?
Absolutely, yep. No question.
Coach, you mentioned your defense, and I love to talk defense. Matt Salento, your defensive coordinator, does an outstanding job. You switched 3 years ago, at third year running this defense, right?
Yeah.
The 3-5, and you had 8 guys returning, so that's a pretty good base. When you got 8 guys on defense, you build around that defense and then let the offense take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't say he gets so mad at me because he wants to stay under the radar, but I can't say enough about our defense coordinator, Matt Salento. I mean, one, he's one of my best friends, which makes that easy, and two, it reminds me a lot when I was a young assistant coach under Walt. He's detailed, he's energetic, very intense, but at the same time, he makes the kids want to run through a wall for him, and again, we have the kids for it. I mean, again, knucklehead out here, Austin Drucker, had a big pick early in the year. And again, the kids have bought into the system. They bought into what we're trying to do. And again, it goes out, again, just to mention all our coaches, Coach Salento, Coach Warrock, Coach Ryan Canary, Shane O'Connor, Ty Hughes, Dan Jimkowski, and our 2 freshman gurus, David Drew and Pat Brady. So, I mean, you guys know well enough. It starts with your assistant coaches.
That's
but
right.
A lot of alum there.
Yeah,
a lot of alums,
a lot
right?
of Panthers.
A lot of Panthers in the house.
That's it. So, but like I said, I mean, the job Matt Salento does, I can't say enough. I mean, he's my right-hand man. We pretty much, we don't talk often during the game. We communicate via look. He's got that patented Salento look, and so it's a special thing.
Noah, when we, and not to digress from the defense, but I will for a moment, when we ever have an offensive player on, we always tell them, look, here's the one thing you got to do. You have to mention your offensive lineman.
Absolutely.
So tell us the guys who have helped make you be successful and protected your back.
Right. I'm starting from the left. We have Doug Mesler, Dan Daber, Dom Infante, who has been he has an unbelievable season so far. And to my right, we have Aiden Connolly, and then right tackle Mike Falconetti. And those are 5 of my best friends on and off the field, obviously. And just big guys, big weight room guys, and they work hard. And the biggest thing is they want to win just as much as anybody else on the field. They don't get a lot of attention, and they're okay with that. They're working hard every day in practice, just like the rest of us. And I believe they deserve just as much credit because without them, the triple is nothing. Our goal is to score points by the wheelbarrow, and and they make that job possible. So without them, we're nothing.
I do have to ask you, too, about the A-back.
Right. My twin brother.
That's your twin brother.
Nate.
Nate. Is he all right? I mean, you get along with him? Is he okay?
Yeah, coach, anybody would say, there's times in practice where he wants the ball and I'll pull it or something will happen. I hear from him in games as well. But, it's all good having him. I trust myself, and obviously I'll trust him. He's a guy who I know he'll pour his heart and soul out for the team. He'll put his shoulder down, try to run somebody over, and do whatever he can to get an extra yard or two. Or that's the best thing is I love having him back there, and he's not afraid to chew me out, give me some advice. So that's always a good thing.
Coach, back to the offensive line. Only 2 of those kids played last year, right? So you had to basically build that offensive line. Not an easy position to build.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we had a couple kids got some couple games here
a little
and there,
bit, yeah.
But we did. I mean, we lost pretty much 3 to 4 starters, depending on how you look at it. And these kids they've responded. They got in the weight room in the offseason. I know that's the cliche thing, but they did. They're a unit, and they're goofy. It's your typical O-line, but they care about each other, and they want to protect him and our skill kids. So it's they like to eat, they like to fire up the grill, and they're linemen, just like I was.
Clearly, the signature win on your schedule up to this point was at Central, defending conference co-champions. Mm-hmm. That was that miserable night. That was the night the game we were supposed to do got postponed by thunder and lightning. Mm-hmm. All that. You happened to be fortunate. You were playing on field turf, and you got that game. And it was a wild game, though. I mean, plenty of points scored. But that had to be the game that when you left the field that night, you felt like, hey, you know what? We're right in the B South till the very end.
Yeah, I mean, again, our kids are resilient. again, that's why I'm not worried about last week's loss because they bounced back. Again, I get made fun of a lot because I always use the term typical Point Barrow kids, but this group really signifies that. I mean, they're, just they. There was a lot of times in that game where, with the hour and a half delay and things like that, that's a difficult thing for high school kids to deal with. And we were businesslike. We got after it, and again, we beat a very good Central team, and it was a great win.
That was a big one, right, Noah?
Absolutely. Those guys they're phenomenal over there. Mike Bickford and those guys. There's a little chatter before the game about
shocking.
Exactly. But that's the competitiveness coming out of us, and coming into the game, regardless of the weather, we just wanted to go out there and play, and thankfully we were able to do that. Coach Henry's words of wisdom at halftime really fired us up, and we came out in the second half and did what we did. We ran option football. Everybody did their assignment, and we came out on top.
Okay, it's about time we talk about the Piners.
Exactly.
Now, okay. Probably one of the top players in the Shore, Amir Tyler. Tell us about Amir Tyler and the rest of the Piners.
He does it all except for line the field, pretty much. He's a
I think he does do that.
He probably
on
does.
The home game.
He's a special kid. I mean, again, obviously the job LJ's done with that program. I mean, we kind of came into this at the same time, so a lot of respect for him, and just this kid's a special kid. I mean, just watching the Barnegat game, he made the run he made, and then I think the next series picks a ball off. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us, but our kids are ready. I mean, it is what it is. The place will be humming on Saturday at our place. I mean, we got 2 tailgates going on. The town is ready to go, and not that matters, but our kids feed off of that. Again, that's what makes small town high school football special. And again, we feel confident in both of our game plans on both sides of the ball, as well as special teams, and we're confident. Again, it starts with number 3 on offense, and I have all the faith in the world on him. And again, our defense has been outstanding. So, it's going to be a great football game, and we're going to go at it.
No, let me throw this one on you a little bit. I've got to assume, just because of the nature of the player he is, that Tyler will make some plays. To me, the key on paper would look for you guys to be able to control the ball, keep it away from the offense as much as possible, some time-consuming drives, run the ball effectively. So maybe the offense will have a lot to do with how well the defense performs.
Right. You said it before. Amir Tyler's a phenomenal player. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he's just another man. He bleeds blood as well. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So we're going to go out there and play Point Barrow football, blue-collar football, and go out there and compete. We were, not that it matters, but we were picked to lose again or whatever. But nobody roots for Goliath anyway. So we're ready to go out there and show them what Point Barrow football is all about. And
listen. When it's good, that's one of my favorite places to watch a football game. Sean, I think you just hit it on it's the small town atmosphere. You're right in the neighborhood. The homes are right there, whether they like it or not. School was there first, right?
That's right.
But I mean, it is a great, great atmosphere. Saturday looks like a beautiful day. I mean, it should be just a fun game to be in, and when Noah alluded to the fact in the summer when it's hot and you go through, this is what you play for.
No doubt.
I mean, you go out there the first weekend in November when a lot of teams have already basically the equipment's packed away. Yeah. You're playing for a championship.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than that. Again, obviously I'm close with Walt, and even I remember Ronnie Sig.
By the way, the reference Walt Curry.
Walt Curry. And even with Sig, I remember him when he was at South, a couple years ago saying, it's just nice to see us playing in big games. And that's where we're back at 2 years ago. Again, these kids went through hell. They took their lumps, and they've learned from it. So we're where we want to be. We're not done yet. And, again, we've explained to the kids that win or lose on Saturday, we're not done either because there's another goal.
Yes. Noah, I quickly looking at your schedule, I don't think you've played any day games, have you? Played all at night?
I believe to this point, yes. Yeah.
Right. So little different atmosphere. What are you going to do Friday night? Is the pasta party Friday night?
No, it was tonight.
Oh, it was tonight. Okay.
Here.
See, there's tradition, right?
Exactly.
Still have it on the Thursday, okay?
Yeah. I'm a very superstitious guy, but I'm going to treat it like any other Thursday night going into Friday. So in this case, it's Friday night going into Saturday.
You're going to watch film.
Gonna watch, yeah.
Coach, let the coach scout, right? You're going to be scouting,
we'll
right?
get a new prof.
Exactly.
I'll rest my brain a little bit. Maybe watch some Rocky IV.
There you go.
That's a big a big pregame tradition for me, especially going into Lakewood. They're great athletes over there. So
Rocky IV.
Is that Drago?
Drago.
Yeah.
It ended the Cold War.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Coach Canary will tell you all about that one.
Okay. The coach brought it up now about playoff time, okay? Of course, the playoffs will start next week, okay? Are you looking for a home game? Now, this game will not count as far as you're concerned in your power points. Are you looking for a home game? Maybe the 3 or the 4 seed, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like right now, right, Coach?
I think yes. A 3, I believe.
Could be a 4, 3 or 4.
Yeah, New Providence, if they win, they jump you, right? Yeah, probably, you know.
But, I mean, we play with the hand that we're dealt with.
Right.
We're not going to really look deep into that things. I mean, again, it matters, but at the same time,
you got the big one on Saturday. That's the first.
We'll play with anybody, so whatever we get with, we'll play that hand and go from there.
Kev,
we always like to ask seniors college plans. You know what your thoughts are, Noah. Here, senior. Do you want to still play the game? Does that?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, football is not something that's easy to give up. I played it my whole life, and a lot of our coaches have played college football, and a lot of my friends from last year, and Jack Fitzsimmons as well. I talk to him all the time. I was talking to him earlier today, and he loves college and college football. And again, it's not the same as high school, but football to me, it's I eat, breathe, and sleep it. So,
any other sports, Noah?
I played a bunch growing up. Right now, actually, I played tennis this past year.
In high school?
Believe it or not, yeah. Swam my freshman year. I stopped playing baseball in 8th grade, but I've kind of done a lot of things.
Where is Jack right now, Fitzsimmons?
Jack is at Muhlenberg.
Muhlenberg, nice.
Yeah.
Very good school.
Yep.
All right, but right now the only thing that counts is Saturday, right? Everything is secondary to that.
Exactly.
How about the kids, Noah? I mean, you have a student section? I haven't been to a Borough game this year.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the student section and about the school in general. I mean, no school, right, Thursday, Friday. Were you off? You had school first beginning of the week.
Yeah.
But
Right.
So, I mean, are they extra time to prepare for this one, the kids?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been getting – we have tailgates going on this week, before the game, as Coach Henry mentioned before. And, we have so much school pride, you can't even explain it. You have to go to a game to really believe it. We call it the Panther Pit.
Okay.
One of our good friends, Bill Bettino, runs it. And he does a phenomenal job rallying up the guys and whoever goes to the game. And, I think they had 100, north of 150 ticket sales for the tailgate. So, expect a big pit, and those guys always play a big factor.
Oh, so this is a paid tailgate?
The kids are paying $1. They get like all you can eat.
All you can eat food from Bubba Coos burritos.
Pretty good deal.
And that will be held at where? So I know where to park.
By the tennis courts, right where you park.
Okay, so I usually park on the road out front.
We'll get you valet. Don't worry.
No, if you have any influence with those guys, you should tell them it would be nice to bring a little food up into the press box to the broadcasters.
I'll try to pull some strings.
Because they'll say nice things about you guys. Otherwise, we'll just be all over you.
We'll take care of you.
I'll see what I can do.
Panther Pit will get some ink.
Well, listen, hey, we're looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun Saturday. It's a big game, no doubt about it. But like you said, no matter what happens Saturday, there's another game. First winning season since 2011. A lot of Panther pride restored this year. So, Sean, for that, congratulations to you and your coaching staff for all the hard work. Noah, looking forward to seeing you Saturday. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Don't get dinged up on Saturday, all right? We expect four quarters on Saturday.
Absolutely, nothing less.
We appreciate you guys coming down, really. I know it's pasta party night and joining us. Really do appreciate it. We'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Always a pleasure. Love seeing you guys, and thank you for having us.
All right, hang on one second. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to the Thursday night high school football show on the Shore Sports Network.
Water Street Bar and Grill in downtown Toms River is the ultimate sports bar. With 32 HD TVs, Water Street brings you all the action of every football game. Located right on the water, Water Street is the perfect place to enjoy the finest views of the shore. Whether you want to grab a few drinks with friends, catch your favorite game, eat a delicious meal, or enjoy live entertainment every Friday and Saturday nights, Water Street is the place for a good time. Located across from Huddy Park on Robbins Parkway in downtown Toms River. Visit them at bakerswaterstreet.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we know busy lives and dinner don't always mix. But by making a sub above, we help make time for dinner time. With cold subs on warm nights and hot subs grilled for cool evenings. It's a really well-made meal, de-stressed. It's something really good.
All right, Corey is standing by.
Delicious dinner time in the bag. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Your home for high school football. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Well, that was a fun segment with those guys. They had a good time coming down, and we had a good time chatting with them. Well, you know, we always like to talk with rookie head coaches, Ed. You know, the new guys,
Yep.
the young guys.
We got one here.
We got one here. It's his first year at Freehold Township. Oh, by the way,
He's got 21 others.
21 seasons as the head coach at Howell, and, of course, a few years in between as an assistant coach at Lacey, and really one of the real good guys around the shore. Corey Davies joins us tonight to talk Patriot football. Corey, how are you? Coach, you with us?
Yes, I am. How's everything going?
There you go.
Good. There we go. Good.
Did you hear the introduction, Corey?
We gave you a nice introduction.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
There was a loud noise, and I wasn't sure what was going on.
Okay, there you go.
Sounds good. Hey, let's just go back a little bit and tell us what this whole thing has been like for you to be a head coach at a place that you were at for so long, to build a program, to have a lot of success, especially later in your career, and now to kind of start all over again at another school. What's the whole transition been like for you personally?
Very exciting. It's been an exciting adventure coming over, and you know, we were so close together. We had played them for years, so he knew a little bit about, you know, Freehold Township football and where they were at. And the greatest part about it is getting in there in the weight room, and the kids are just wonderful. I mean, the players and the assistant coaches that I took from the staff, everyone is just outstanding, and it's been a great experience.
Corey, the move to Freehold Township, tell us a little bit how it developed. In other words, you know, you were at Lacey the last few years as an assistant and put together some good teams there. How did it develop? When did the job open up? What made you interested, and so on?
Well, I knew I wasn't sure what I was going to do, if I was going to stay at Lacey or continue on. And I had some plans of actually going back to Howell as an assistant and work for Coach Reichenbecker, but Coach Reichenbecker stepped down from that position. I thought that would be neat to go back as his assistant. Now he's my assistant, my top assistant over at Township, you know, and he played for me and coached for me for years, and kind of just thought it would be something. I felt all of a sudden I wanted to get back into coaching, and I said this to different people. The greatest part about being an assistant is you're not the head coach, but the worst part is you're not the head coach because you don't get to make all the calls, and you don't get you're not behind the seat driving the bus, and I just wanted to get back involved and then doing the stuff that head coaches do.
Well, you took over a program, Freehold Township, that has not had a winning season, I believe, since 2004. They were 4-6 last year. Right now you're 4-4. You brought this passing attack, which you really kind of developed at Howell, and it looks like you also have a quarterback that has fit well because Jack O'Brien's just had a tremendous season.
Yes, and he's really progressed in the offense, which has really been good. As a coaching staff, we went in, and our biggest thing to try to preach to the young men was to be able to improve from week to week and get better, and I think it's been very satisfying to me as a head coach, and that has gone with Jack as well as he learned the offense. He threw the ball a little bit, quite a bit as junior year, but you know, a lot of new things to learn and new things to do, and then as I tell them, you get a lot of praise in this offense, but it's not easy when you're throwing the ball and everybody on the other team's coming after you and trying to knock you on the ground before you get the ball off. And he's done a great job adapting to the offense.
Yeah, not surprising, Ed. O'Brien has thrown for over 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, right at the top of the short conference stat.
Well, you know, anytime you play against a Corey Davies team, you know the air will be filled with football. And by the way, before we talk about Freehold Township again, we just wanted to congratulate you on your son being named one of the top quarterbacks in the Shore, history of the Shore, this week in that article in the press.
Yeah, that was nice. I know he was very gratified to have that honor, and we, you know, myself and my wife, we were very happy for him that was able to be done and that he was able to receive that recognition. That
was Ryan Davies, who, of course, is still at Montclair, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's in his third year there, starting quarterback, and going from there.
Corey, You had some lean years early on at Howell, and then, of course, it just kind of turned. So going to a place like Freehold Township, which really has not had a winning tradition, something you were not unfamiliar with, have you been able to, to convince these kids? And have you seen their confidence grow since week one against Freehold Borough, a real, a pretty good football team in their own right, to where you are right now?
Absolutely. We've been selling from day one. I think I was trying to be the best salesman possible, and I was selling directions early on. And I think they're starting to read the directions right now. And if we ever get this group of kids to send the warranty in, we're going to be a pretty good football team. We're still not there yet. And I just, preach to them to buy into what we're trying to do and what we're doing. And if they get to that point, we're going to be pretty good. The season might run out. We might want to start the season over again, but we won't have that opportunity.
Corey, you got a tough one this week in Middletown North. It's a pretty good football team. It will not count towards your playoff goal, and I know that is a major goal of yours, is to make the playoff. Freehold Township, the Patriots, in their history, have only made one playoff appearance, and that was a loss. So I know that's a goal of yours, and this game won't count. But tell us a little bit about the Lions from Middletown North.
Well, we're striving to try to win as many games as we can, and that was a huge goal and still is at Freehold Township regarding playoffs. But when we get involved with Middletown North, they're very well coached by Coach Steve Bush, who goes back when we used to have a rivalry when he was at Manalapan back in the days at Howell and Manalapan games, and he's an outstanding coach, and they do some very good things offensively and defensively. They have a very polished quarterback and a few really good receivers, and it's going to be a big-time challenge against them, and hopefully we can fare somewhat well and represent ourselves well against Middletown North.
Corey, let's talk about the playoffs a little bit. I know you don't want to, but we have to here because that's our job. But it looks like the only team that possibly could catch you is a team that you destroyed last week in Edison. They will play a pretty good Sayreville team and are favored to lose that. They're the only team that could possibly jump you. Is that correct or not?
Sort of. It's crazy because if they could jump over us, but if they jump over, we get residuals because we beat them. So then we would probably jump over the team that's ahead of us now, who is Hunterdon Central. But then East Brunswick could catch us because if all their residuals come in, they could actually catch us if Edison doesn't win. So there is some crazy parts in there and how it works out. So I guess Edison will jump over us, but because we'll get the residual.
3 point, you'll get three extra. Right, you'll get 3 extra points.
We should get one from Mid-South if Mid-South can win against Freehold Borough.
Right.
So
it's a crazy system. It's a crazy system, isn't it, Core?
I like the fact that it was much easier and from that standpoint, and I really don't understand the whole thing. I'd love to know what the tiebreaker is, because 2 or 3 of us could all have the same if it falls a certain way. And I guess it's strength of schedule, but I don't know how that works either.
Yeah, by groups, yep.
You'd have to go out for a long dinner to have a long conversation to figure the whole thing out. I've always been I am not a fan of the playoff system, but bottom line is I know when you started back in the summer, it was one of the goals, and it's certainly within striking distance, and you'd certainly like to do that in your first year, which would be a great experience for your players. But we just wanted to catch up with you for a couple of minutes. It's great to have you back. I know you have always been in the Shore Conference, and you were at Lacey, but it's good to have you back at the helm of a program. You're one of the real good guys that we've enjoyed working with over the years, and wish you a lot of luck this weekend, and hopefully that playoff game next weekend.
Thank you very much, and I really enjoyed talking tonight.
All right, Corey. Here's Corey Davies, long-time coach.
Kev, you look at his schedule. He has lost 4 games.
Yeah, look how close most of them.
Well, let me tell you who they are.
Yeah.
New Brunswick, undefeated.
Yeah.
When he played them. Middletown South, the number 1 team in the state. Manalapan, Freehold Borough.
Yeah.
These are not gimme games.
No, none of them.
He has lost to some good teams. And then, of course, he's got his 4 wins, including a 52-28 win over Edison, last week, which was just a coming of age, I think, for the Freehold Patriots, Freehold Borough Patriots.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They haven't seen a passing game like they have, this year. Corey brings that offense. Jack O'Brien, a couple of outstanding receivers, and Nick Galante and Adrian Rybaltowski really have lit the skies up, and
they have.
They'll continue to do so. Let's jump right on over and say goodnight to our guy, the football beat reporter for the Shore Sports Network. Of course, that is Bob Batters, getting ready for Bob. I'd like to say the last week of the regular season. You should be able to say this is the last week of the regular season, but of course not in New Jersey, because it is for some teams, it isn't for any. But we do know this is the last weekend for teams to jockey to either get in, improve their position. So it is a big weekend around the Shore Conference, correct?
It certainly is. For all intents and purposes, it is the last week of the regular season. It really has flown by, but this is it. The playoffs are next week, and a lot of teams have played their 8 games, but for those teams that still have a game left, earn some power points, and obviously there's division titles and things of that nature on the line. But as far as playoffs are going, this is it. This is you win or get in, you win, you improve your seed, or if not, you're not looking at the playoffs. So huge games, not just in the Shore, but around the state this week that will impact a lot of different teams.
Bob, Ed and I were doing the numbers. 26 of the 43 Shore Conference schools could be playoff bound. A couple, we mentioned Freehold Township is one of them. There are a couple that could be on the fence, but we're going to have tremendous representation. So what are the games this weekend that have a direct impact on the state football playoffs involving Shore teams?
Well, there's a lot of them. The biggest one is in Central Jersey Group 3, where a lot of eyes are going to be on that South Plainfield-Colonia game, because if South Plainfield wins that game, they have a chance to jump up and get in the way of what right now is a Rumson and either Ocean or Red Bank top 3 seeds. So that's a big one right there. I mean, it's a 6. I think they are 6-1 right now. Excuse me, South Plainfield. Sectional champions last year, so a very good team. Colonia comes in at 6-2. You have 2 very good teams right there. Colonia wins that game, if South Plainfield wins that game, they can jump up all the way to to 3rd, I believe, and that would bump either Red Bank or Ocean down to 4, or there's a lot of scenarios that can happen right there. And the one thing that I think, especially from the Shore teams, is you don't want to have to play Mattawan in the first round. You're going to have a tough game no matter what, because it's a deep bracket. But I think the way Mattawan is playing right now, 5 in a row after that 0-3 start, especially having George Pearson back at quarterback, has been big. But the Husky team is hot. They're defending the champions in this bracket. You'd like to not have to play them right off the bat. So that game, that South Plainfield Colonia game, huge for Central 3.
Another big one tomorrow night, Bobby. Jackson at Red Bank Catholic, the rematch from last year when Jackson broke their long winning streak.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how different, and it was a little bit similar a couple weeks ago with the Middletown South and the Manalapan game, and even the Manalapan Red Bank Catholic game, which were so huge when they occurred last season. A little bit of a different story this year. Last year, like you said, Jackson went in there, at home, stunned Red Bank Catholic on their way to winning a sectional title and finishing number 1 on the Shore. Both teams have already played their 8 games, so it's not going to impact their playoff seeding. But exactly, you certainly want, if you're Red Bank Catholic, which is, coming off a loss, has allowed 3 straight 100-yard rushers, you need to try to get everything straightened out, because the non-public Group 3 playoffs will be no picnic with or without St. Joe's Montvale. And, for Jackson, a team that lost 3 in a row at one point, they've now won 2 in a row. You get a win going into the playoffs. Jackson's not a team you want to see early in the first round either. So that's going to be an interesting one to see who can come out of that with some momentum, because both teams will make the playoffs. But which team comes out of that game, giving that impression that, all right, hey, they can really do some things in the playoffs, because both, coming off what they did last year, the number 1 and 2 teams in the Shore certainly have been down based off of that.
Right. We've all have done some numbers and some possible matchups in the playoffs. Again, that's our job. We have to do that. We have to keep the fans in tune with what's happening and the possibilities. But it looks very possible that the Jaguars, who you just mentioned, might be the 7 seed, and the 2 seed in that Central Jersey Group 4 are going to be the Dragons of Brick. We may get a 2-7 Brick-Jackson rematch of the 2-0 game won by Brick back in the mud a few weeks ago.
And certainly that would be, a huge first-round game. And the scenario,
2 minutes,
as you said, Ed, likely will is, Steiner needs to beat West Windsor Plainsboro South, which is winless. That game's on Saturday. And if they do, if Steiner wins that game, that would drop Jackson Moore to this number 7 seed.
Right.
Brick Memorial and Brick are pretty locked into the 1 and 2 at this point. So, right, that would create that matchup. Brick, Jackson at Brick for the second time this year for to go to the semifinals. I think that's a game. Since that game where the wind and the rain, you guys called it, so you know more than I. Everyone wanted to see a rematch, just to see what happened, without the weather as a factor. And, from everything, it looks like we're going to see that, and that'll be a great game, come next week.
All right, Bob, one more thing. You got 30 seconds. Shore, Asbury Park. Can the Blue Bishops pull off the upset?
Oh, it's going to be tough just because Shore has been so dominant. You look at what they've done so far, and they're blowing everyone out. They won
1 minute.
Games dating back to last season. They don't have anyone with overwhelming stats, basically because they're blowing teams out at halftime. Everyone has an equal output and the way they go to the locker room. Asbury Park, Gavin Thompson, Jaden Stevens, Trevor Saunders, Charles Sanders, they have playmakers. Can they find a way to get out in the open, put some distance maybe early between Shore, and make a team that runs the Delaware Wing T offense have to play catch-up? To me, that's the big question, but Shore's certainly the favorite at home.
That's Bob Batters. Check him out at shoresportsnetwork.com. Does a great job. Bobby, thanks so much. Talk to you over the weekend.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right. Always good to chat with him. So there you go. When we come back in hour number 2, we'll talk with Freehold Borough coach Dave Ellis, and, of course, our regular spot with Monmouth University's Kevin Callahan. That's all coming up right after this news break. You're listening to the Thursday Night Football Show on the Shore Sports Network.